Okay. Fun with flags. Every time. What's today? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday. We had a very eventful day. Let me turn the light on. Oh, I'm in a little bit of pain. I'm moving slow. Okay. So we got up. We went to our bagel place. Apparently we have a bagel place now.
Right.
I'm like falling off the bed. We went to our bagel place. And then we went down to Rockefeller. Saw the skating rink, Rockefeller. It was really pretty down there. Like all the buildings were really pretty. And then what did we do?
And then we went and stood in line for a very long time.
We reserved like last week. We put a request in, or the week before, we put in a request to go to the Kelly Clarkson show. And so we got tickets, and it's like they're free. You like request them, and if they have the room, they will give them to you, but they're not a guarantee. Like it says in there that they oversell to make sure that the audience is full. Because if they sell just enough, then people aren't going to be able to go. So they oversell them, so it's not a guarantee. So we're down there and we're walking around and we're just kind of like exploring Rockefeller, because that's where the studio is to record her show is in Rockefeller Center. And this lady walked up and she's like, "Do you guys want to be on the Kelly Clarkson show today?" And we're like, "We actually already have tickets, like, thanks." And she's like, "Perfect." And we're all, "What time should we line up?" And she's like, "Well, it opens at 1, so you probably want to start lining up at 11. This lady heard like 10:30 in her brain. And so, but it was really, the weather today wasn't as good as it has been all week. It was chillier, but the cold wasn't the problem. It was the wind made it worse. And so we were cold, and we were sitting outside for a while because like most of the shops don't open there until 11. Like some of them do, some of them open at 10, most of them open at 11. So we couldn't even like go shopping while we were waiting. And so she's like, "Let's just go in and wait." I'm like, "Okay, let's just do that." I had to like walk around because just standing was hurting my feet. And it was probably 11:15, 11:30 before the next person lined up after us. So we stood there for an hour with nobody. We were obviously the first ones. And then the next person showed up, and then it was like not that long after the next person showed up. And the person that showed up right after us, the gentleman was by himself, and then it was two ladies that joined after, and they were the nicest people. They were so much fun. One of the ladies had done it a couple times, so she kind of like knew what to expect, and so it was nice to be able to ask her questions. She went to go use the bathroom, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and wait." And I went to go sit down while we were like waiting in line, and they were like, "You can't sit." And I'm like, "I can't what?" They're like, you can't like sit on the ground." And I was like, "Great, thanks." Because standing in the same spot for 2 hours is what I love. So I was just like walking circles right in my spot. Because your feet don't hurt when you're like moving them.
Yep.
It's when you stop and then you stay in one spot for a while that they're like, "Oh boy, those hurt. Those hurt." But it was so much fun. Like the people were so great. We were the first ones in the main line. There was like 10 people that had VIP.
Just so you know, I made sure they all had VIP too, because nobody was cutting.
She showed in. Every single person that walked up, they're like, she's all, "Do you have special tickets?" "That's none of y'all business." The guy's like, "Well, they told us to come up here." And Mom's like, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, because we got VIP tickets." But yeah, nobody would tell us how they got those VIP tickets.
I made sure every single one of them had VIP tickets, just saying. I wasn't going to karate chop people. Yeah.
And then, so you like line up, and they come around and like double check your tickets and give you a thing, and then you have to go up the stairs, like the grand staircase or whatever they call it in Rockefeller Center, and then they check your tickets and your ID, and then you go through, and then you have to do a waiver, and then they check your tickets and your ID. And then you get your wristbands and your little thing. We still got them on. We haven't taken them off yet. And then you go into like the waiting room. And we were in the waiting room for probably an hour and a half.
Yeah, about.
But there was seating. So that was nice. Like,
Comfortable seating.
yeah. Because they came down right at 1 and were like ready to go. They came down before 1 and started checking us. So then at 1 we could flow in just fine. And so that was kind of nice. And then it was like 2:30-ish that they came and started making their announcements. And then 2:45-ish we were starting to go in. And we got great seats.
Very good seats.
We were not.
March 19th.
Yeah, our show airs on March 19th. Sad news though, Kelly Clarkson was not there. So we went to the Kelly Clarkson show, and there was no Kelly.
So we knew ahead of time because everybody had been talking, and then so I'm going around asking everybody. So do you know, security guards, everything. Do you know if Kelly Clarkson is here? And finally, the last person said, "I'm legally not allowed to tell you that," and I'm sure it's probably for security reasons. But so I wanted to leave.
And I said no. We had just stood in line for 2 mother effing hours. We were going to a live audience show. Like, we were going to see a show be made. Like, we're going. I paid my dues and my feet hurt. Now I need to sit. And so once we got to the top and, like, we had our ticket and stuff, we're like, is Kelly even here? And she goes, no, it's Andy Cohen that's hosting today. And he was so good.
So worth it. So worth it. Big personality. He engaged with all of us. Yeah, I mean, he talked to us.
Multiple times.
Yes.
In between,
wanted to know where we were from, and yeah, just was
what shows people were gonna go see. So he was like engaging, and like he went to like either section. It wasn't just like he stayed in the middle. He like went over to the side and talked to them, and then he was in the middle talking to us, and like, so it was a lot of fun, and it was really good. It was a workout.
You don't realize what a workout a live show is. Up, down, up, down.
Right? And it's not even like, it's not like live, but like there's a live audience there. And so you're having to, and then you're having to get up, and then you're having to get down, and then you're having to get up, and then you're having to sit down, and you're having to get up. And I'm like, listen, we just all stood on our feet for 2 hours on this hard marble floor that we couldn't sit on. None of us want to stand anymore.
My phone asked me if I was working out.
Like,
It was shocked. It's like, are you working out? What's going on here?
but it was so good. It was Chrissy Teigen was on there,
And she was good. She engaged with us as well.
Yeah, she was talking with us and stuff like that, and she was so pretty, and she was funny. Her and Andy together were so funny. We're not going to give anything away because we want you guys to watch the show when it comes out.
Because it's funny.
The 19th. Set your DVRs if you want to see us. Hopefully. We're like right in the middle, in the second row. Like, we had fantastic seats. We were looking directly at them. Like, it was great. And then, who was that other guy?
Anthony Michael Hall.
From The Reacher is his most recent.
Right. But he was originally, what I remember him from, because he's the same age as me, is 16 Candles.
Yeah.
So he was a geeky little blonde kid. And I didn't realize that until I looked. I mean, I knew who he was, but it didn't click. And so he was only out for a few seconds, but he also engaged with us for the few seconds he was out there.
Yeah. So it was such a cool experience. Even though Kelly wasn't there, and like we were pretty bummed because, we feel like we came a long way to see her. The show that still was like put on for us was so much fun. And like she said, very engaging, and like
he's a great host. Great host.
So we were talking to, our friends that we made in line, and they're like, I mean, if it's going to be anybody, at least it's him. Like, he's really good. And I'm like, Brett, I've seen him do things before. So you are right. Like, he is really good. And so he was well worth it. I mean, of course, he announced the first thing that he says other than his name and I'm not Kelly. Best news for those who are at home, not for those in the audience. Kelly will be back tomorrow. Catch me outside, Andy.
So we missed her by one day.
Which is fine. It was still
good.
We got really lucky with our the host that was there, so I had no complaints. And then we left there and we walked down Fifth Ave. Well, we never went into Saks.
No, we didn't. We were so tired by that point. We were tired and hungry because we ate at 9 o'clock in the morning, and this is now 5 o'clock when we're done. I mean, the taping took a couple hours.
Yeah, so we ate at 9 at our bagel place, and then we went down, and then we got in line at 10:30. And praise the ladies that came prepared. They came with lifesavers and
mints.
And
she even offered to split a granola bar 5 ways.
Yeah. So like it was just all in all was a great experience, and the people that we met there made that experience even better.
And they sat with us too, so that was fun.
Yeah. So we like each got letters. Like you go in and your group gets a card with a letter on it, and so we were A. The gentleman behind us was B and the ladies were C. And so I was like, oh man, what if they don't get to sit with us? And we got lucky, and it was like all 5 of us in a row next to each other. So that was super cool. And the one lady even like went down while we were standing in line. She's like, I'm going to go get something to drink. Do you guys want anything? And so she got us a bottle of water while she went down. Like it was such a great time. But then we went to Bill's bar and restaurant and bar.
Yeah.
Bill's something. It was right there at Rockefeller Center, and so good.
Very good.
Mind you, again, it was 9 a.m., 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We hadn't ate in 8 hours, so we were hungry. But that doesn't take away from the food there.
It was very good.
It was so good. I got a club, and it was delicious. She got a quesadilla, and like we scarfed it down. I didn't actually think we were going to finish it because we were so hungry. And, like sometimes when you get so hungry, then you can't eat all of your food because your stomach's like, what are you doing? And we both finished our meals. It was really good. And then we went shopping. We went to Lego. I got my New York City Lego set, so I'm excited about that to add to my London and Paris one. I almost didn't buy it because all my other Lego sets I bought at like Target at home, because I'm like, I've been to those places, I should get those. So this is the only one that I've bought at the location, so that's kind of cool. I liked that. And then we walked down Fifth Avenue, saw the cool Louis Vuitton luggage.
Yeah.
That is so cool in person. Like I've seen it in videos and like pictures of people.
It's the building that's a big stack of luggage. So amazing.
Yeah, and it's not even the store. It's just like a whole, I don't even know. But it's so cool. It is way better to see in person than I could have ever imagined. And then we went to Tiffany. I've been wanting Tiffany earrings, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to save up, and then when I go to New York, I'm going to buy them there. Because why not? And we went to the Landmark store. So it was 6 stories?
Yes.
6 stories? 7 maybe. Was there another?
It was actually 9 stories, but 2 of them were appointment-only stories.
Oh, okay. So we went to the 5th and 6th level and looked at stuff. Like we bought what I wanted on the 5th level, and then we went to the 6th level, and I knew that there was like a cafe there, but I didn't think about it until we were in there, and I'm like, dang, we could have went there and had food. But I got my earrings.
But I'm sure it was very expensive because I wanted a keychain and it was $250 for the keychain.
I mean, everything at Tiffany's is expensive, but it's good quality. But I got this cute little Tiffany bag, and then there was this dangling thing, this like metal dangling thing. She's like, it's like a little ornament for because you came to the Landmark store. So I'm like, that was so cool. Like, I'm glad that, and we almost didn't. I almost was, because there's a bunch of Tiffany stores here. I'm like, look, we can just go to any of those, and we pushed through and walked down, and our feet are paying for it now, but I'm glad that we ended up going down there, because it was cool, to, like, the experience and stuff. Then we walked back a little ways, and then we finally hailed a taxi because our feet hurt, and we were like, let's go back to the hotel. My socks were starting to rub a blister in my feet, so I wanted to get back here and like change my shoes to give it a little break from hitting that, like, because it was just rubbing the same spot, and I'm like, if I change shoes, then that spot maybe won't actually blister. So we came back and hung out at the hotel for a little while, and then we went back down to Times Square, and we went to Ellen's Stardust Diner.
Cool place.
Oh, on the walk there, we saw the longest line known to all of mankind waiting for, what show was that? Smash. It literally was like on this side of the building. It wrapped all the way down, all the way around, and was all the way back to the other, like the other side of the building.
So it must be good because it was a long line.
And a lady walked by, and she's like, this is the longest line I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm like, it really was. But then we were walking down to Stardust from our place. It was like a 20-minute walk. So it was kind of long, and we were already hurting pretty bad. And then we got there, and there was, of course, a long line because the place is awesome. But they moved pretty quickly. Like, we were halfway down the block, if not longer, and we were sat within 50 minutes. So
53 to be exact.
not that somebody is counting. But like it was pretty good. They were moving people pretty quickly. But that place was amazing.
Amazing. Oh.
The food, I got cereal or fruity confetti pancakes. So it had Fruity Pebbles cereal in it. So good. So good.
I got a stuffed French toast. So it was like the strawberry crepes you can get, but it's French toast instead. It was to die for. Mind you, we weren't really hungry.
No, the plan was we were going to get one appetizer, we were going to get their mozzarella triangles, and then we were going to get a dessert because we'd
already eaten.
We had food at 5, and it was now like 9.
A little after 9.
9:30.
Yeah.
I think. And so I'm like.
But then the food arrived to the table next to us.
Literally, they sat down this French toast, and I looked at the lady and I go, "Is that this?" Like on the menu, it was like, "Oh, so something."
Yeah.
And she's like, "It is," and I'm all, "Okay, thanks." And the next thing you know, we're ordering a whole dang meal for each of us. It is what it is. But the waiters and waitresses that were singing were so good.
Yeah, they sang through the whole thing, so they've got a different performer nonstop, and that's all the wait staff, and they are really, really good.
They were so good.
So it was like nonstop music, and it was really good. It was, what a neat experience.
Yeah. So that was, and we almost didn't, like, it was on my list of places that I wanted to go, but I'm like, if we don't get to it, like, it's fine. It's not at the top of my list, but it would be really cool to go see. And I was like, let's just walk down there and see. And then we saw the line and we were like discouraged. And so we got out of line and we got to the front, and I'm like, how long have you been waiting? And the guy's like, only about 40 minutes. And I'm like, where did you start? And he started back where we were. And so I'm like, you know what? That's not really that bad for an amazing place. And so I'm glad that we ended up waiting through that because it was totally worth it. And then we walked through Times Square again, went to 900 souvenir stores and a Starbucks, and now we're back at the hotel. Tomorrow the goal is the 9/11 memorial, and I think that's it. I was gonna look. We have a list on our phones of the places that we like want to go. Oh, Chinatown.
Yeah. That's where we ought to eat, is Chinatown.
Yeah.
There's so many places we still want to eat. It's like, oh, we really want to do that pizza place. Oh, we really want to get a street hot dog.
Yeah, I still haven't got a street hot dog because we keep eating at all these delicious places, and then I'm full. And then there's a pizza place right around the corner here that our taxi driver was like, I just tried that for the first time the other day, and it was so good, totally worth it, you need to go. And we haven't gone there yet either, too. So tomorrow I think we're just going to gorge ourselves on food. And then we're going to go home on Friday. And be miserable on the plane. So yeah. Tomorrow I feel like it's going to be a little bit more chill. I think we're going to go down to see the 9/11.
It's a taxi day. Not a walking day, it's a taxi day.
Praise Jesus. That came from my feet. Not my mouth, my feet. My feet sent that up. Because, boy, howdy do they hurt. And I don't even think it's the walking that did them in today. It was the straight standing for long periods of time. Because all we did today was stand in lines. Lines for the Kelly Clarkson show. Lines for the diner. Both of them worth it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Everything was worth it today, even though it was just a lot of standing around. It was a once in a lifetime, definitely worth it experience.
Yeah, because we won't do it again. I mean, if I do come back, I'm going to try to get on the Kelly Clarkson show again because I want to actually see Kelly. But it was still amazing. So, yeah, now we're going to go to bed because it's midnight. Good night.
Night.
Bye.